America is very good at living in the myth of America. You can't train away bias. You can't train away bigotry. He knows that he can step on the line where freedom of speech is, and that the Supreme Court will not slap his hand away.
And those people haven't given Black people reparations. Right. That needs to be addressed. We are living in literal serfdom. This is like a new medieval happening. This impacts everybody in the United States.
They cannot stand us to have anything.
And once they have established this as a precedent, they are going up the chain.
It has nothing to do with the American people. It is all about power.
All about power.
What is up, everybody? It is Dr. Vibe, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads and fathers. It's sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And being part of that collaboration in 2022 and 2021, reached out directly and indirectly to over 100,000 fathers around the world. And as always, I'd like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. And we are broadcasting live July 15th, middle of July already. Yes, already is happening. So we're state of things with Aisha, Jill, and LaLa. Just to tell everyone, Aisha will not be with us. We just found out this week that she went for an operation. We just sort of landed on our laps like on, I think, yesterday or Thursday, but we're speaking. She's going to be okay, and we're looking forward to having her back next week. A few other house cleaning rules before we get everything started. Make sure you like the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. Please like the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook and LinkedIn and spread the word. Also, you know what? Actually, one other thing I'll say, if you want to advertise your product or service on the Dr. Vibe Show, please email me at dr.vibe@thedrvibeshow.com. And without further ado, the stars of the show with a nap, I think. I think they had a nap today.
No nap.
Is Jill. There is
No
LaLa.
nap.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Outstanding. What nice day today. Also want to say, as both the wonderful ladies come on, make sure if you haven't yet, you need to join the Discord group. Wow, the Discord group is not playing. So email me at dr.vibe@thedrvibeshow.com. We have members from Canada. We have members from the United States. We have members from Australia. So we've gone global. On this thing. Also, too, let's see. Jen Myers says hello. Good. I was going to say good morning. Good evening, Jen Myers. And thank you, Jen Myers, for being one of the most active people in the Discord group, because you're bringing a lot of content that I had no idea about to our Discord group. So thank you, Jen, as always. Ladies, what kind of we? Oh, Black Beauty says, hey, family. Black Beauty, have you become a member of the Discord group yet? I don't think so. What's keeping you? And happy belated birthday to Jill Jones.
Yeah.
How was your birthday?
It was really great. My daughter took me out. We did mani-pedi, all that kind of stuff. And she cooked dinner for me later. And my husband got me a beautiful pearl, like single pearl necklace. It was gorgeous.
Very nice.
Yeah, nice gifts. Very
nice.
Very nice. And, I put it in the safe deposit box.
You better have it, girl.
I went and had it made paste. I always tell people tips for staying cool in the summer: cucumbers and vinegar, and make sure all your jewelry that you wear is paste. just these days, you just don't know. But it's nice to have it. But yeah, that's how it has to go. It's the way it is. It's been 2020.
How's the world of international realty?
Good. I have some really cool places coming up that is going to be awesome. We have a house that is actually an old school windmill that we'll be taking some photos of this week. Yeah, and they decked it out. It's absolutely gorgeous. And then I've got several right on the beach in Nazaré.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Very nice.
Ooh. Ooh.
You have no complaints from me.
No. And what's our T-shirt of the week? What does it say?
It says, "Nope, not today."
Okay.
And then it says, "Nope," all the way down the sleeve.
Okay. I love it. I love it. And Black Beauty says, yes, she has become. Yes, you have. So I correct. You have become a member of the Discord. So I apologize for the misstep. No problem. And hello, Tila goes, yo, 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 Tila. All right. So we'll call this part of the conversation. I just said we're going to call it the warm up. So there's some things that the ladies we were talking about, or they were talking about before we went live, that we're not putting in our show roll tonight. So what are some of the things you guys wanted to chat about? We're not going to go deep on tonight.
Misha Maynor, Representative Misha Maynor out of Georgia, who was voted in as a Democrat. Her district is a Democrat, and yet she gets up to Washington and decides that she has a moral standard to now flip to Republican.
Right.
And I think when you do that, you should automatically lose your seat, and your constituents have to come together and make another vote. It's not fair that she's taking money from the DNC, their money for donations to get her in there, and then now all of a sudden she has a moral obligation to switch to Republican. I say the girl has been paid.
Yes.
You get a chance to look at her tweets.
Yeah.
I'm not a sellout. I'm a strong Black woman. No, honey, no. You got money, and we're not stupid. That's what that is. Yeah. And y'all, I'm telling you, this political game is strong. They are playing to win. And unless we play ball hard back, we're going to lose this game. We're already losing. So you need to be paying attention to who you're voting for on the very basic level. I mean, who's your tax collector? Who's your librarian? Who are the judges? You need to really be paying attention to who you're voting in, because this chick right here, what she did was dead wrong, and she should be dethroned immediately.
But the only way they would be able to stop it is if they make it a rule that they have to return the money.
Yes.
Because if otherwise, anyone could switch and pick and choose, and returning the money and having to start from scratch. But it doesn't, in a really weird way, that wouldn't matter either, because it just shows you that there's people buying each other off inside of our, the corporatocracy, and definitely in capitalism, there is no honor and no good faith. She's a clown. She's a fool. A freckled-faced fool, and she should be ashamed of herself.
When you say that, when you say that, Jill, it reminds me of old Fred G. Sanford on that stuff. Yes. Fish-eyed fool.
Yes, she's a fish-eyed fool too. That works for her.
Yes,
we have a real problem with honor. And
yes,
I didn't mean to put it on her,
but. It's something that we have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Is she all Black?
Yeah, I believe so.
Mixed?
I believe so. But I mean, look at what state it is, Jill. I mean, you've got Marjorie Camel Toe, and you've got all these other people, in that state. I'm not surprised that they didn't corner her and say, "This is what we got for you, sis." If you do this, I'm not surprised. And so every day she comes out with these tweets like, someone else was tweeting for me and now I'm tweeting for myself. I'm so glad I switched to Republican. And then all of them jump in talking about, welcome to the party that includes you. Oh, give me a break. I literally got sick.
It's, there's nothing that any of us can do anymore other than not give these people any kind of oxygen.
Right.
That they can't. We give a lot of people a lot of attention, and then they get powerful, and then they get money and donations, and, write her off. She's nothing. Let's just try to find the next person to beat her.
Exactly.
But she should be ashamed of herself. She should really be ashamed of herself because she sold out people, and she is, yes, Mayra or Myra or whatever you are, you're a sellout.
Mm-hmm.
And, karmically, I hope it comes back on you.
So LaLa, you feel that if a political representative does that, they should what?
Automatically lose their seat. Automatically. There are protocols when a rep or a senator or a congressman passes away, what happens? There are rules. Those rules should also be included for someone who switches their party. The voters need to feel like they are being represented. Right. I, for one, would be beyond if my rep switched on me like that. Yeah. And I would be extremely vocal, and I would be marching about it, because you took our donations, you took our money, and you ran on a false principle.
And that's fraud. It's fraud. So I don't see why the people don't sue her. And I think it's important for constituents now to get together. We've done everything else in the courts that they say can't be done. It has set precedents. Sue them. That dumb other one that
the one in Arizona.
The one in Arizona who's pretended to be progressive or whatever she is, and slept in her car when she was growing up. I think that, we're done. We need to sue these people.
Yes.
Manchin, he should have long been sued
for
fraud, because they need to have some kind of checks and balances with your constituents that you represent.
Yes.
And a story. It needs to be, we've got all this digital world right now. You should have a lockdown thing like, hey guys, what would you like to do with this vote? My people in Virginia, what would you all like to do? See, for me, the DNC needs to make a move to find a way to communicate either digitally with their constituents or something, to do ad hoc votes along the way while you're in, before you go, hey, we got a bill coming out. What do you all think?
Yes.
How do you think this? How do you feel? Because I'm your representative. These on and they jump in and they lie, and then they really, it's fraud that they don't stand by what they say. It's like, you leave the money and go out the door.
Yep.
That's
Let's
the way
see
I
you do it on your own.
How do you come in here and
this whole thing of politics is all about money. If you've noticed, they're all getting paid some kind of way. Someone sponsored them. They sponsored bills. They're getting this. If everybody had to wear a patch with what they get donations for, you would be.
There just needs to be more transparency. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about this bill? And now there should be a paper file. There should be a paper trail of like, there were 800,000 constituents here who didn't want this inflation bill, or who do want it in my area.
Right.
And the DNC should actually have some kind of mechanism to be able to track it and to say, hey, are we going to put money back into this person again if they're going to run again?
Right.
Or not? End of story. Because they didn't stay within the parameters of what their constituents want. Kevin McCarthy, if we'd have done something like that, Kevin McCarthy wouldn't be here. None of these people would be here, because the constituents, they get in there, they lick your, and then they get the job, and then they're like, I don't know who you are. Oh, let me pay off. Let me see what senators I can get to pay my kids to go to school. Let me try to get my money for my retirement. You know what? Marie Antoinette, it was July 14th yesterday. That was a day that all politicians should not get too comfortable in these days, in the last days of where we are. And frankly, they are way too comfortable, because January 6th was the beginning of what could possibly happen.
Yes.
Once those MAGA people finally realize that they've been made fools out of, eventually, I don't know when it's going to happen, but mark my words, they ain't going to be coming for the Democrats.
No.
Okay. So Tila says, yep, give those donation monies back, girlfriend. And also, if I know this correctly, Carrie Mullins, who is, I would regard, the first lady of Black Canadian reggae, is with us tonight.
Oh,
and
wow.
Yes, Carrie, wonderful lady. Her father and my father go way, way, way back. Her father's transition, but actually her father and my father were one of a group of men that formed the Cornwall College Old Boys Association of Canada. Now, the Cornwall College is an all-boys school in Jamaica, Montego Bay, that's been around for at least 60, 70 years.
Wow.
So Carrie Mullins, awesome. And I've been saying it forever and ever, I got to get you on the show, Carrie, but she is, Carrie, you need to get a Juno Award. That's our equivalent to the Grammys. You need to get a Juno Award for all the hard work, not the hard work, the hard work you've done to promote reggae, especially Canadian reggae, globally. So, Carrie, welcome to the conversation. So, Jill, do you also want to talk quickly about Karen Bass? After that, I don't know if you want to talk about Karen Bass.
She's awful. No. She's really as awful as I thought she was going to be. I mean, on one hand, I thought, okay, Rick Caruso, people didn't have much to choose from with this lot, but career politicians, it's enough. There are people living in their cars, their propane tanks are blowing up, they're dying in these vans, and this can't find a parking lot for these people to go into and set up something. It's like, she's only been doing this for most of her life. Right. It's like, I don't like it. I'm so annoyed. I just, it makes me sick to my stomach that I know that there are people suffering like this. It's hot here, and she got into office and has done nothing except bureaucracy. I'm going to tell you something, you guys. One thing I hate above all of anything, I hate meetings. You know why? Because meetings don't accomplish.
Nope.
I hate in corporate America, we're going to have a meeting. Can we order some donuts? I hate meetings because in my opinion, an email, a memo, let's do this, boom, 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 boom. It can be done in a second, assigning and delegating. But a meeting is a waste of time in the bureaucracy. Can we just be done with meetings? Because nothing ever comes good from meetings. Nothing. That's right. It doesn't happen. There's no movement. There's no action behind it. This
waste of time
makes me so upset. So upset.
So Carrie chimes in saying, good night, everyone. Give me some of that money and see how we can make change within our community. Everything has become about money. Love and humanity first. I know that's Carrie Mullins. I know.
Mm-hmm. But
and actually, Carrie, if you ever want to come in on a Saturday night, Carrie, if you ever want to come in on a Saturday night show, please, we'd love to have you, because I know you have a strong voice, a passionate voice, and you take the bar higher on this conversation. So we got our warm-up done. Let's get to the main courses of the evening. So first things first, LaLa, Arizona Republican, refers to Black Americans as colored people on the host floor debate.
Can you really see that this is exactly where they want us to be? These are not Freudian slips. My man knew he was going to put that on the floor before he walked up, but they think about what they're going to say. They have speech writers up there before they go up there. This was a test. Testing, 1, 2, 3. He wanted to see how upset us Caucus was going to be if we were referred to as colored people. He knows well that phrase has not been used for many years, and it's offensive. And I was very pleased with how the reaction was immediately But his boldness to this speaks to the whole party. The GOP is nothing but a party of pure oppression. It's all about them. They don't care what you're doing as long as it falls within their guideline. They want to call you what they want to call you. You want to send you back to the kitchens, send you back to the fields to pick cotton. They want to make sure that they govern your body. They want you to have plenty of babies so that they can so far sell them babies like they did many, many years ago. And this is coming out of their mouth in 2023. Are you shocked? I'm not shocked, but I know one thing. They better watch their back, because something is going to tip. Just like Governor DeSantis finally he's done ticked off the white women down there, y'all, because he done cut off the alimony. It just takes one thing like that, and it's all going to fall apart. And I'm telling you, white women, you better watch it. We've been telling you from day one, the things that they put on us as oppression, they're coming after you next, because they don't care about you. It's old white men in power. And this man wants us back in the fields. It's disgusting. And he only wanted to clarify it, not have it stricken like they asked to strike it out of the records. Oh, no, let me make a clarification. No, there is no clarification. You've made your point known.
All I can say is I hope that he doesn't eat out for his sake. He's got a target on his back with the food categories. I hope he brings a lunch while he's at Congress, because ain't nobody, he's a brave dude, because I'd have his salad dressing a few times and I'm not serving it to him. These people are outrageous. They're funny. They're funny because they're so easy to read. They're not worth it either. They're not worth it, and neither are white women in advising them about what's coming for them. Let it come. They don't.
It's already coming,
but it's okay. I mean, they don't want to. They want to sit and Me Too everything. So them, and they want to sit and like about Jonah Hill, who he was too controlling. Grow the up.
Right.
Really, it's ridiculous. That's where they are, and I don't think they really want to work all that much anymore. I think they quit. I think they gave up. Because by all looks of it, they're okay with their little alimony and their little fake marriages and going to their Christian dumb churches that aren't Christian and pretending that they're safe from harm.
Yes.
That's what's so interesting. People are so terrified. They're looking for, I'm safe from harm. I've got my husband. If I keep him roped into a religion, maybe he won't cheat on me. Oh, if I have a bunch of babies, maybe we're the Christian. These Christian men are crazy. They go home and kill their whole families. I mean, It's like, Trump gave away folks' kids. I mean,
yes,
this is a really it's really crazy. You got Governor Abbott. Wait, guys, he's got ball and chain, ball with spikes on it that he's running across the Rio Grande River, so that anybody who's swimming is going to get impaled.
Yes.
I mean, they can keep their white dudes. Ain't nobody checking for these men here anymore, y'all.
Nope.
Ain't nobody checking for them either. All we got to do is figure out how to vote and mobilize. We are on Noah's Ark, y'all. The doors are closed.
Yep.
Let's deal with what we got to deal with. Ain't nobody checking for, the doors have been shut. Yep. So if he wants to stay colored, do what you want to do. But we coming for him in some way. Yep. We mobilize. We start putting our money in those areas to get rid of that. But
That's
don't be
right.
His constituents, like Marjorie Taylor Greene's and all of them, they represent their people. Don't
That's
let
right. Or else they wouldn't be in there.
They wouldn't be there.
Which is frightening. It's really frightening.
Oh, they're getting empowered because there are people who are like, well, I'm not really a racist, but if I can benefit a little, that's how it goes. People don't even know the definition of racism, white nationalism, Tommy Tuberville, or whatever his name is. That's circus freak. I mean, it's like they want to play games. They know But a
They
switch
know.
kick in the "I'm gonna see you later" is the only way to deal with these people. And I really wish Congress would all get the up when people talk like that and walk out of the room.
Yes.
Don't even deal with that. Go in another room and have a discussion.
Well, you see that bobblehead and two toes. Every time they don't get their way, they get up and walk out of those committees. They come and do their damage, and they just get up and leave.
One of them is with Donald Trump Jr.
I know.
Bobert. That's the rumor.
Yep.
The freaking crystal meth head of like, I mean, my God, the dude is like skied and whacked and like, it's crazy. But yeah, she's totally looks like she's thanking you.
So Jen says, LaLa, you're completely correct. And good evening to Cinnamon Canela is in the house. Hey there. Also, thanks for chiming in on the Discord group. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Big time. Black Beauty says this. It's okay. They're having some challenges with the software tonight, the platform. It's truly shameful that their Hero 45 opened the door for bigots to come out of the closet and wave their flag of bigotry straight across their bigoted hearts through their mouths.
We've had bigots in Congress before. We had Strom Thurmond. We've had that old hayseed. What's his name, Kennedy? We have them. They have been there. And that's the first sin, because they shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Right.
They should have been ousted and pushed out and shamed even more. But the fact that they are there, Lindsey Graham, all of them, is more testament to their constituents. So when you go out, stop shopping in their areas and providing money to these people where they live for everything. If you got to Google somebody before you go and meet their and see where they're,
that's right.
Don't do it.
But it's actually working in Florida. You don't hear this in the news a lot, guys. But what DeSantis is doing down there has totally ruined the state. They're trying to make it look like it's still a bed of roses. People are leaving by the droves. This is affecting their economy. Businesses are no longer going there. Conventions are pulling out. Disney got rid of $1 billion project that they were going to bring in. So you may not hear those stories every day, but little by little, they're chipping away. So you can see that the power behind the people is there. It just may not be talked about in the media, because media picks and choose what they want you to see. They want you to be upset all the time. But what you can see is when you do get together, it can work. So make sure you're looking at these people. See who you're talking to. Are you talking to somebody who's a closed bigoted and you know it and you're like, oh, that's just them? No, ain't no just them no more. Yeah. It's either you or me. And one of us got to go.
I know.
Oh, so Tila says insurance companies are leaving Florida as well.
There's only one.
But you know why they're leaving too? It's uninsurable. It's a wreck.
Uninsurable.
And really, to be honest, Disney should leave. But Marvel, by the way, just announced it's leaving Georgia and moving to the UK. They made a comment that, they will pay people less. I mean, anyway, I can't stand Marvel movies. I'll watch them every now and then when I have nothing else to do. But I'm okay without that. Personally, these aren't movies. They're what is that? But anyway, there are jobs that are going to leave. We still got BET and everything else down there, and we got Tyler Perry. That's okay. We don't need you, Marvel. Bye. But they're playing games like, oh, they're going to pay people less. Really? You're going to be paying a lot of different things in the UK. But it's all the fact that they made a jab like that on their way out for me. Like saying $15 is too much money to pay somebody an hour. Marvel, how much money do you need? Like, honestly, how much money do you really need? These CEOs need to be put out to pasture. How old are they?
Billionaires.
Get rid of them.
And collect money off of other people's works.
Okay.
Too much.
All right. So let's go to our next conversation piece. I think we haven't talked about it as much. We've hit around it a bit, but the GOP and their agenda with culture wars instead of running America.
That's all they have.
It's all smoke and mirrors. Nothing is getting done in America. not real business that needs to be done. It's a reason why we went all the way past due dates and stuff for the budgets and all that stuff, because people want to take the time to say, oh, this is woke. And now they've attacked our wonderful military. I'm sorry. You're disgusting. These people go off to your wars that you don't fight, your kids don't fight, you protect them from. You tell them I got an Achilles heel, I can't go, but I could serve in Congress. No, you are going after our military. And this is disgusting, and it shows weakness to the rest of the world. So what do you think Putin is sitting back thinking about right now? How you gonna come on over here and do what he needs to do at the weakest moment? Don't underestimate that man. There's a lot of people that keep saying, oh, he'll never come over here. Well, I never thought Donald Trump was going to be the president either, but he was. So you better be very careful about what you feel very comfortable with, because it's coming, and it's coming for you.
I think that...
Go ahead, Jill. Well, actually, Jill, I'm going to jump in just really quick. Mm-hmm. One thing we forgot to talk about last week about the whole Supreme Court and reversing the student loans thing, which has now gone back, which we're not talking about this week, but we'll save it till next week. Did you notice that the Supreme Court, though, did not stop or once ruled on something saying that we will still accept all different backgrounds to serve in the Army and military?
Yes.
But this
so
is the
interesting
problem.
Message. Don't let minorities, blacks and other minorities get education, but make sure they go out and fight for our country.
Yeah.
And
then they don't take care of them at all. Our veterans are suffering. They're suffering. They can't get the meds that they need. They can't get their medicines. They can't get treatment. If you want to get seen by a doctor, it takes months. It's disgusting how we treat our veterans for serving our country. How dare you? What a kick in the...
They've never treated our vets very good. They did experiments on them, not only just with Tuskegee Airmen, but with Agent Orange and different things that they tested. We saw with even Hunter Biden, not Hunter Biden, the Biden boy and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I think that they are saying that AI will actually be able to diagnose people's diseases a lot sooner. The only problem is I'm almost 150,000% sure that our medical community is not up to the challenge of trying to execute that, because people will just be like, hey, I got this, I got to get into surgery. And I think that we'll just fold up like a little old handbag. I think that it's kind of ridiculous that we have people who serve in Congress that never served in our military
and don't care.
And I think that it's kind of like we've got activists, we've got lobby groups, we've got all these people who decide to, therefore, I'm not all or nothing on this, where there are people who are on the left, some of the liberals who go just too far for me too. It's like, shut the up, and then there's people on the right. It's like they only know how to do that. And I'm all down for just throw these out there in the war and let them fight. Because I just don't feel that they, it's so easy to malign your country that you're in. It's so easy to get on a platform and talk about how our colonialization and what we did to colonize people. And it's like, really? Well, let me tell you something. If we did colonize people, we would not be sitting here as Black folks. I can tell you that. It's the truth. It's kind of like things happen the way they're supposed to.
So let me ask both of you, since I don't live in America, I live in Canada. Is the cultural war real, or is it something that's just been pushed out there? Is there a real?
It's very real. We have kids that are trans kids. We have everybody who, we've got elderly people who can't eat. We've got, I had an 85-year-old person delivering pizza the other day. I mean, you can't say very much about a country that lets their elderly do this. You've got no, this is ridiculous. This is embarrassing. But guess what? They have no shame anymore. But we're all sitting here doing nothing. This is not how change happens. We're sitting here talking about it. Let's put it that way. Where's the action? I'm a little tired of talking about them now. I'm tired about all of them.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't do anything.
Okay.
One podcast after another podcast, everybody like, we got to make some moves.
Changes. It's time for change.
Yeah.
Beyond time change.
April says 9/11 2.0 on the way.
I don't know. It's a slow burn. And a slow burn is better because it's like a slow boil. It's like people are like the frogs. They don't even realize that we're dying.
Right.
We're dying. They already did that. Everybody's in the pot now.
Yep.
And the heat's just getting turned up. They're going to be fine. We're not.
What are one or two things that could happen to start resolving this culture war in both your opinions?
We got to get them out of there. I know y'all probably sick of hearing me say this, but I mean it to my core. These people need term limits, but they ain't going to vote against that for themselves.
It really is about sacrifice. We as American people are the worst when it comes to having to sacrifice anything. I have not gone to Walmart. I refuse certain things. I have gotten rid of like different accounts, or you have Amazon. Get over it. Simplify your life and go to cut them out. Really seriously. This is like not a joke. The corporations need to suffer. I know people.
There's many places I don't shop. I don't shop at Hobby Lobby. I do not eat at Chick-fil-A. I do not go to Walmart. My money needs to go where I know where people are serving my needs.
Chick-fil-A is proof that if you boycott somebody, because they came around to gay people, because they did,
but they're still donating to the cause on the other side.
Everybody now donates to both sides. I work for a corporation that donated to both sides. And I'm sorry, but it has to be called out. But the fact is, Donald Trump made it where nobody has any shame about what they're doing. I mean, for God's sake, we've got hookers all over. Everybody's a prostitute these days on OnlyFans, and they don't care. I mean, it's actually okay because, I'm sorry. I just don't think, I'll never think that, sex work is okay. I just won't. I'm liberal, but I don't give a I don't need to know who, but I don't think it's like something but this is why when you just okay everything, this is why there's nothing that becomes untenable that you go,
yes.
Okay. So one thing you said, LaLa, is term limits. I hardly see that ever coming either, because again, I think I've shared it before. If you look at the way politics are, at least in North America and at least in democracies, and I think in any political campaign takes money to run.
It does.
And the majority of the time, the money comes from the big donors.
That's right.
So when that person gets elected, the first person they're going to serve are the people that paid for the campaign.
That's what I said.
So
if you see their taxes and who supports them,
should there also be campaign restrictions on contributions on top of?
I believe so.
They've had to find a way to get around them.
Yeah, they found. Because
they create the pact. Personally, I don't think there's anything any of us can really do other than action. And the reality is that it's beyond the point even of me saying boycotting. It's actually called something else, and I won't really say it on here because this is where we are. But we know what it would take. We know exactly what it would take. But I don't think that people here have the stomach for it.
No.
The truth is that it's gone too far and the corruption is too deep. And
there's people are too comfortable with where they are. God forbid if they lose anything,
the federal money flows to the left, to the right, to the this, to the that. And unfortunately, authoritarianism is winning across the world. It's almost like somebody got together and said after the pandemic, hey, maybe all these 5 or 8 countries can start moving in that direction.
Yeah.
It's a little too coordinated for me. It's very coordinated. And some of it now, I look back and I don't know what to make of either side. And there are days that I do wake up and go, they're all pretty, and I don't trust any of them.
Yep.
Left or right.
Yep.
And the more as I get older, the more I feel like I don't trust any of them.
We're all being duped.
And I would rather be with a group of people in our country, like where we all finally realize that and go, you're all rich and poor. The rich are running this country, the elites. And they always have. Because even the founding fathers, they were rich. They were rich scumbags.
All right.
Who didn't want to pay their taxes.
That's right.
Okay.
That's how it all
All
happened.
right. Let's just take a quick break here. As always, we like to say, please follow the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. Almost up to 1,200 followers on the YouTube page. Also like the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook and LinkedIn. We also want to encourage, you're catching a lot here, but you're missing even more not being part of the Discord group, the State of Things with Aisha, Jill, and LaLa Discord group. Have you not joined yet? Why not? If you've joined, loving to having you there. Please email me at dr.vibe at the drvibe.show.com to join the group. And let's come back to what we were chatting. So let's go to another interesting subject that's hit America now.
I just want to clarify something. I just don't see. I know some people feel like, the earth, is the world going to end or whatever. I don't think the earth is going to end, but I think we are. And I think that more and more now, because I don't see any way. It makes me incredibly sad because I don't see leaders. I don't see people that inspire. And I think that in the middle of it all, like in COVID, we had nobody who actually spearheaded and went, hey, what about humanity and the animals and the people?
Yes.
We don't have people like that. They don't exist. They don't exist in politics. Mm-mm. There's some awful, awful people. And all I can say is sometimes I sit and go, why do I do this podcast? Because I talk about it's never going to change. And I suck up time out of my life to have to talk about the worst possible creatures on this planet. And it's sad because we're all sitting here like we care so much and we're doomed. It's a grim, grim future. And I don't know why people even continue having children and go on. And yet they're forcing people to do that now. It's disgusting what's happening.
Anything else you want to add, LaLa, before we move on to our next conversation topic?
I actually agree. I agree with everything Jill says. I actually had that conversation with my hubby today. I was like, sometimes I wonder, are we just out here crying wolf in the wind, because we need more people who feel like we do to speak up and act, not just speak, but act. Even and a simple measure of acting doesn't necessarily mean you're out in the street knocking down doors. A simple act is just like what we said earlier, not going to the places who don't agree or with your principles, not spending your dollars on people who are against you, but smile in your face and stab in your back. That is a silent form of protest. But until we do that and until we organize on doing that, sometimes I just feel like we're out here screaming with a bullhorn, but yet the winds are howling so loud, nobody can hear us.
And you're so right, because I really feel like I made a tweet this past week or a thread. And I was like, in order to become rich, you have to be a really bad person.
Yeah.
Most people that I've ever met that are rich or have wealth from like from their families or whatever, if you go back into their family wealth, it's dark. They were bootleggers. They did this. They stole. They robbed. They did whatever to have it. And then the impetus was to hold on to it, and it creates a different kind of energy of people. It's like, so for me, it's like, wow, we're the good ones here. All of us here watching, we're good. We fight the good fight.
But we're preaching to the choir.
Never
so
in
you're
history
preaching to the
has
choir
good
who already
never won.
knows.
The good has never won. And when it did win, the rich pretended, the wolves dressed in sheep's clothing pretended that they were there to accept the awards. But good does not win in this life.
No.
It doesn't. I don't believe that anymore. I used to, but I don't.
Okay. All right. We will move on to another conversation topic. That's getting more and more. And if you're in the entertainment game, you got to be paying attention to this. Oh, this having technical. Okay, here we go. The SAG-AFTRA. I got to get it right. AFTRA is officially on strike. What? Both you are either have been or are indirectly involved in the entertainment industry. What are your thoughts on this strike? Because it's becoming bigger and bigger.
I'm a member of both. I'm a member.
Okay.
Okay. So the deal is that we strike. I mean, some of the crazy stuff that the studios want is they wanted to take the background actors and scan them once, pay them $200, and use their image for perpetuity in all their other productions. Wow. They want to do that with other actors, in the productions. And yes, I get it. Everybody's got AI at this point. Everybody's lost their mind. But, we have to sit and wonder why any civilization or countries allowed AI to come out without any regulation before. It was wrong. So SAG and AFTRA, they've already been doing it. Delta's already been scanning people's eyes. Yes. So, the problem is that this strike, it will last as long. The writer's strike has been going on because that too is dealing with streaming. And Steve Lukather, who was in Georgie Porgy, what's Toto?
Great guitar player, by the way. Great guitar player.
About his royalties from all the songs he's written from Spotify were 15 cents. And so
15, let it soak in, y'all. Hold on, Jill. Let him soak in. This man is a veteran musician, been around for years. Yeah. His pay was 15 cents.
So that's another one where I wish the music industry would do the same thing as the actors going on strike. Every musician should take their money off of Spotify, take their songs off. But we're not going to have that because there's no solidarity here. They split up the music industry ages ago. And they've been so hungry and greedy since they exploited poor Milli Vanilli until one of the guys killed himself.
Yes.
So we're done. Music is done, officially. Done. People have deals they're not able to, they can't even live on it anymore. They can't.
So Jill, let me ask then, what's the difference? Is there any difference in the entertainment industry, the SAG-AFTRA situation, than the music industry?
Well, they're trying to make sure your residuals on streaming are, our union wants to strengthen those things and to make them for their livable wages. This is the thing. They're not covering certain intellectual property things at all. So when I get residuals from I think, Jerome, with Prince, all that, they can't even accumulate all of when it's streaming. Certain people are not getting their money.
That's right.
And the biggest question is you have to go and pay a $500 an hour attorney to go in and do an audit to try to find your money. And
there's no way to catalog it.
Criminal. It's criminal. And personally, it's just if you have any, there we go again, solidarity or love for your fellow man or your fellow actor or performer, you'll step up. But,
listen, here's my thing. $1,000. You like the music. You love the music. You played for the music. I'm telling you one thing. Anybody that I love, I'm buying their music. I'm not just streaming their music. I sit up and see my husband. Took him 2 years on his last project. Went around the world. Real musicians. And 2 cents. Every time it gets spent somewhere,
right?
You can't live on that. You can't even buy a cup of coffee. You can't even put those little old machines you put the penny in and get a fake 10 ring. You can't even do that.
Yeah. It's really bad. So SAG and AFTRA, they are officially a union. They're amazing. But, hopefully, I'm sure it's going to go for a while. And, they want to, they haven't had a strike since Ronald Reagan was president the last time they had a strike. A president of the union, not president.
Yes, not president of the United States.
Union. Right.
Yeah.
Well, what's interesting? I actually was very pleased that I really think that Fran Dresner really did bring it home when she was speaking about it. And it completely shocked me because she's not my favorite. She kind of grates on me a little bit. But I was very like, oh, she's not playing.
I love her. She's lovely.
And I was very proud of how she came out and spoke so eloquently and with passion and being very honest about how do you expect us to make a living? You want to sit back there and not be entertained 24/7 a day, but how are you going to pay us?
They don't.
And it's another thing. Some people, I'm sorry, what did you say, Jill?
Most of the actors nowadays, are not raking in the dollars like they used to, unless it's Angelina Jolie or all the, and to be honest, ain't nobody really going to their movies anymore either.
No.
So it's kind of like so we have a problem here. I mean, it's changed. And
I have writer friends who are like, no, you're not going to do this to me. So I stand in solidarity with both, because if you ask me, it's all tied in together. The music, the movies, the writers, AI can't do everything. But I'm going to tell you, today, I don't usually pick fights on the internet because, for one,
I saw you did,
there's always a lot of cowards behind keyboards, right? But there was this one AI company came out just as clear as day, y'all. It was Morgan Freeman, and it was his voice. Mm-hmm. And they said, this is not Morgan Freeman, and this is not his voice. If you pay us, you could make commercials with high celebrities too. I got into an argument with that AI company, and don't you know, they have no shame. No. This is not his voice. This is computer generated. We just put in create a famous Black male, and this is who they gave us. So no, we don't have to pay him because this is what AI said. Somebody had to feed that AI something, and that man needs to get paid for what he's doing.
Well,
if
here's how
his likeness, pay him.
Here's how AI is getting all this. Okay, so in the medical billing profession, a friend of mine has a son in school, but his friend from MIT decided to drop out of MIT and to start a company that goes after the contracts, because everybody has been collecting data. So these young kids have decided to go and tag the data, because the more data that's tagged officially with all this whatever, it makes it easier for AI to educate itself.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
AI in medical billing. And guess what? It pays up to $120 an hour to do that job. So that is something that's going on. And so when it comes down to an ethical decision, mm-hmm. How do you tell somebody like, hey, you're kind of helping AI to get rid of people. And even though you're collecting $120 an hour now, you won't have a job in about 10 years. They're
not going to need you.
They're going to kick you to the curb afterwards. So this is why I believe that the Hunger Games and Insidious and those movies where they show people in zones and all of that stuff, why I believe that ultimately the world is going to look like that, because we already know that WHO wants to do a world passport, health passport, mm-hmm. and decide if people are going to be able to travel somewhere. That's zoning people.
Yep.
So there's going to be no need for the masses of people to travel like they did, because it'd be like, why do we need to have people we don't know going everywhere? We won't.
Okay.
We'll only be going where you need to be.
Cinnamon Canal says, Jill, you said in perpetuity, Hollywood is cheap.
It's not about cheap. It's what they're doing is even more divisive and nefarious than cheap. That is like to scan somebody. They have a lot of information about you. This is playing into something else. That's not cheap. That's an invasion of your privacy.
Yeah.
That they have you, and God only knows what they're going to attach your data to. This is being orchestrated, guys. It's coordinated. Something is just not adding up here.
And the main people who came out talking about, like, I can't stand Musk. I can't stand him. My God, I can't stand that man. He's the main one talking about, y'all better be careful with AI. You better. And what does he come out with this week? An AI company.
Of course.
Are you kidding me?
Because he's one of the most unapologetic that exist. And he's always been like that.
Listen, guys, Google came out this week. This is no joke. And you can see it in our Discord group. Pitch for our Discord. Come on in, because you're going to need to see all the stuff we're talking about. Google came out with an assistant with your voice. You feed Google your voice and you say, hey, Google, I need you to make me a doctor's appointment, please. While you're doing other things, little Miss Google, little Miss Copy LaLa is calling your doctor's office and it sounds exactly like you. I need to make an appointment. Well, we don't have one till 11 o'clock. Well, can I try 10? Sure. She made the whole appointment that wasn't you, but yet it was you. Y'all, you better be paying attention, because you can't put back in a bag after it's been unleashed.
No. That's why I say the future is grim, guys. The thing is, what are they going to do with all of us? Because this is the problem. Andrew Yang, like him or hate him, one thing that he was talking about was universal basic income. So they made sure they don't even talk about that anymore. They're like, oh, we ain't going to give them because it messed up the economy. They actually have people believing that the economy is bad when they can go and print money and change it. And guess what? Make the economy any way you want. Who decide? Think about this. If I rule the world, I rule the economy. I can make it any way I want. I can. And so can everybody else who's rich. Who determined the rules? Jerome Powell? What, really? Who is setting the standard?
I want to get back to the SAG-AFTRA situation. So do both of you feel that it's going to last a long time?
Yes.
They say it's going to last through October.
Yes.
I've heard.
They've got to feel it. I mean, and they are solid on them standing firm together. And that's one thing we don't have in the music industry. We don't have anybody standing firm.
They want people to go broke and then come back and take whatever crumbs are given to them.
Yeah, and they do mean crumbs. Remember, 15 Cent, veteran in the whole world, been around for 30-something years.
I know that name's Stevie Lukather. I know he's a renowned session
I've told you
player.
the best country that pays and looks and takes care of artists is Germany.
Yeah.
And Japan.
And that's where we get screamed all the time. You know, those people, now I can tell you as a fact, will get Shazammed all the time. And it's interesting where he gets Shazammed from. And everywhere that he gets Shazammed from, people are actually going to the website and saying, can I buy your CD, please?
Right.
You see, they support you. Do you have any merchandise? Do you have any shirts? Do you have any mugs?
Here's another thing that an American music industry didn't do for its musicians, unlike every other country. So every other country has a percentage of their, whether it be their French people, their Canadians, that they play their music. So like a Drake, they have in their circulation that Canada will play 40% Canadian music of Canadian artists.
We have that, yeah.
America doesn't have it. Germany has it. France has it. England has it. So there's a quota. And then on top of that, so you have someone like Drake who may get like 40% of he's just going to be in rotation because he's Canadian. And then he comes over here and eats up our space too. So he was always going to hit the charts because he had the 40% already on his back. That's the same with any British artist, with a French artist, with a German artist. Norway stopped doing it. So now they're relying on Denmark, and they don't even have radio stations in Norway anymore. That happened a few years ago. So other radio has absorbed them, but like airplay and radio airplay. So when you come out of the gate with a single and 50% it charts in Canada, well, duh, it's going to chart because Joni Mitchell was, sometimes I really like Joni Mitchell and it's great, but she had the help of having her country behind her that supported her in the top 10 so that she could cross over here into America. So when you think about it that way, it makes you look at people a little bit differently with their art forms. American people here really start from the bottom, especially Black artists get none, zero, nothing. Not because you're American or anything. In fact, a lot of times it is a European country that will pick up a Black artist and circulate them back. So
and ask you to come and perform. Oh, we got this festival. We'll pay for your ticket. Please come over and play.
But this is why the music union has always been a piece of, as far as I'm concerned. The musicians union is garbage. It never evolved. It was corrupt, and it does absolutely nothing for musicians. And Congress has done nothing for our streaming because remember, they've gone and they've been talking about streaming laws and all of this stuff. So I'm sorry. I don't know how this SAG-AFTRA thing is going to go, but I know the fact that it involves AI and it will set a precedent. But the fact that the American government and every other government in the world has allowed AI to go on without regulation. Actually, Germany and France and a few other European countries, Europe actually has regulations in place about how AI is going to be used, but not in this place. This is where we go into the culture wars. This is why we can't get anything done, because we have those old sludge like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tommy Tuberville. They're actually the turds in the soup. And they are killing our country. They're killing it. They are destroying it. I hate them. They're disgusting, It's
all about what they can put in their pocket.
No, really. They have destroyed this country. This is beyond the civil rights thing and, we're going to muddle through. They are destroying it. And it's pretty up because I don't think we're going to recover.
No, I'm with you on that.
Because the Democrats should have who are Democrats, wake the up and realize what happened with the military. Everything you want to do, they're going to you. Okay. I don't care.
They want no part of it.
A roll of toilet paper. They won't want it because they're going to try to find a way to quid pro quo you. That's what they do. That's everything is a quid pro quo. Oh, well, if you do this, then we'll do that. They learned it from their Donald Trump. I mean, this what the does he eat every day to still be here?
I know he's sloppy. He's just plain sloppy.
Right. Sloppy. We're in trouble. And they're still wondering, gee, I don't know. He's now coming for the military. Are they that dumb? I mean, no, really. Are Democrats that dumb? Is this rigged? Because I'm starting to be like, if somebody is playing me that way, I will never trust you. So when Hakeem, all of y'all, what are y'all sitting there doing? Wow, now they're going after the military. Really? They'll go after a potato salad.
Yep.
Okay, so April Watson says Prince tried to tell them, and then April says that.
Oh, Prince was the same though. He only decided to tell people when he started getting, because when it was okay for him to people over, he didn't give a. Let's just be straight up. Money only starts talking when it starts to affect you, and it's ridiculous. Come on, he tried to tell them.
In other countries more than just. Okay, so let's get to our next and last conversation piece. Again involving entertainment world. Just recently, it's Essence Fest performances And there were two performances in particular, one by Megan Thee Stallion and also one by Janelle Monáe, that really caught the ire of some people. And then India.Arie made a comment saying that that's not real. Well, I'll put the article up in a moment, but then she took a battering in social media about her comments. I'm going to put up the article in just a moment, but I discussed this earlier on this week on my Morning Vibe show at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. You can get 9 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday and Friday. It was a very spirited conversation. LaLa was checking it out. Also, Dr. Tachi was on live chatting about it. So what do any of you ladies have to say about Megan Thee Stallion, Janelle Monáe, what India.Arie said? Should there, with the performances like these, should they be said adults only?
You got to tell everybody what the performance was, because if people didn't see it, she took off her shirt. Okay. Oh, fake little Janelle. All of a sudden, now she's a sex kitten. Please. Was she going to take off her pants too because she got a BBL?
Oh my gosh.
I have a problem with it, and I don't care if I sound like I'm the old lady in the room. I don't care. There's certain things you don't do, and you don't do them in front of children. Listen, if you want to do all that stuff, there's strip clubs for that. Not some award show where children can see it. And I don't care how many people try to pack it in. The women can do whatever they want to do. There's decency and there's non-decency. And the way they performed was just plain nasty. And I don't want to sit back and watch it. And I wouldn't want my niece or nephew to sit back and watch it. It's funny. When I was a child, I always used to see my mother say things like, "That's not funny." Like when people would say, "Oh, look at her shaking her little booty." Like when she was 2 years old. "Oh, ain't she cute? She shake a booty." No, Mama said, "That's not cute, and there's nothing cute about it." And you're training children to grow into things that make people happy or get their attention. You're starting them early. It's disgusting. It's completely disgusting to me. I'm not a fan of either one of those ladies. And yes, I do feel like there is freedom of expression. I mean, I ain't stupid. I grew up thinking I wanted to be Vanity 6, all right? And I did have lingerie. I was 14 years old, okay? I knew I was going to be the next member of Vanity 6. But there is a line. I don't want to see your naked butt up on the stage shaking your butt in the screen. I don't want to see it, and I don't want to see your boob either. I got some. I don't need to look at yours. And that's just how I feel about it. And this is the way of the world right now. Because let me tell you, there's a young lady by the name of Spice. And now it's going to all tie in here. Let's just go with me. There's a young lady by the name of Spice. And she has gotten a record deal or something because she was big on TikTok. And all she does is walk around and shake her ass all day long and say stupid things. Like everything that she says is like, what are you, girl? What are you even, what? It makes no sense. She literally came out and said, y'all do realize that I just come out with anything and y'all eat anything. I could just come out and say, and you would buy it and you would think that I'm wonderful. She even said that. So see, we're feeding the machine. If you give people a glass of dirty water and you tell them that's all they have, they're going to drink it and be happy with it. But you give them a choice of clean and dirty, they're going to take the clean every time.
Well, it's interesting you say that, and Jill will be back in a moment. There is lots of recent studies that I take a look at, and one of the recent studies said that in 70% of the cases, people will follow the masses, even if they know it's wrong.
Yes.
So just to go a little bit deeper, so I'm going to read from the article that we have up on the screen here. India.Arie elaborates on critique of provocative Essence Fest performances. India.Arie has clarified her critique of Essence Festival performances by Megan Thee Stallion and Janelle Monáe. And by the way, does anyone know what the definition of a stallion is? Put in the comments. Let me see if you know what that is. I'm just going to put it out there. After claiming the provocative displays, quote, won't age well, unquote, the 47-year-old elaborated that the statement was not personal towards either musician, taking to her Instagram the story July 5th. The, quote, brown skin, unquote, singer explained it in caps, quote, this is not an issue with any of my sisters, period, an attempt to provide clarity. Quote, I'm an old school Long-time affirming voice for women. All my record speaks for itself. I love humanity, even when it's all BS, LOL, unquote. Reads a multi-slide upload, reposted by Hip Hop DX. She continued to quote, but also I do this work my whole adult life, the work of uplifting and loving and affirming and supporting the wellness of Black women and all people at large. How effective I was, I guess, depends on who you ask. But for 20 years plus, I ran 100 miles an hour at all times in the name of healing. So when I see something personal that sparks my personal mission, I speak. Quote, the wordy post concludes, quote, lastly, in case anyone missed it, I do not make a practice of publicly criticizing my sisters. My thoughts are around Essence Festival and context, which really is logic. I'm not addressing this anymore. Peace. Why is it so hard for people to understand? It's so crazy to me that the level of explanation needed and why everything is needed a thing. It's you, not me, LOL.
I agree with her.
The discourse comes after the discourse comes after the Houston rappers headlining show featured explicit lyrics and her signature twerking skills, talking about Megan Thee Stallion, inviting her fans on stage to join her, a typical highlight of the Grammy Awards artists' live sets. As they live in age of pleasure, Janelle Monáe continues to live up to their statement, quote, it's not about an album anymore. I've changed my whole lifestyle, unquote. The 37-year-old exposed their breasts on stage, flashing a bubblegum pink pasty as they performed You, which features Jadina. Amid the backlash, both artists were supported on the instant social platforms with clips of their performances and captions featuring bold song lyrics. Oh my. All right. So
it's not for me. I don't agree with any of it. I do believe we fight so hard as a people. We fight so hard to even get a crumb off the white man's table. Okay. So when it comes to our awards, Essence is supposed to be the excellence of our culture. I don't see that as excellence. I really don't. And I don't want our younger generation to feel like that's what they have to do to make money. You know, we glorify all these things that we used to frown upon, and now they're the norm. There has to be a line somewhere. And if I'm old school, so be it. You know, you don't got to agree with me. But I know one thing, if we keep going down this, here's a little thing that trips me out and it scares me in a way, is hubby and I talk all the time like, oh my God, what's next? And I never will forget, we were laughing one day and I said, he said, I guess everybody gonna be walking around naked on the next show. And the next day, Naked and Afraid came out. So see, now that's acceptable. Now that's something that people want to watch. What's the next best thing? What's the next best thing? Oh, we're going to shock the next best thing. Pretty soon, before you know it, there's not anything else to expose. And there has to be some decency and a better way to express yourself than the way these ladies are expressing themselves. And I say ladies loosely. I don't care how many degrees Megan Thee Stallion has. I don't. Because that's the first thing people throw at you.
What a shame. You wouldn't know she had a degree listening to her music. You know.
I'm just going to catch up here, Jill, before you start.
Tila says,
okay. Jill says, LOL, Jill on a roll, love it. Black Beauty says, kudos, LaLa, well spoken. Jen says, LaLa, you're right. Women do not leave anything to the imagination anymore. She also says, women our age know better, but the young women do not. Tila says, tall, thick women from the South. That's what I thought stallion meant. Sadly associated with an animal. It is a male horse. That's what a stallion is regarded as.
I mean, duh. I can't believe that anybody would name themselves that.
She also says, by the way, we have no balanced representation in the media. Jen Meyer says, love India.Arie, she is 100% correct. Tila says, No more Whitneys, no more Arethas, no more Supremes, no elegance, no great songwriters, just sad agendas over and over. Wig Maniac, you are late. You are late, but we're glad you're here. And by the way, Wig Maniac, has she joined the Discord group?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
I thought
she has.
so.
Okay, I think so. I think she has. And Black Beauty, how dare that artist insinuate that all Black women think the same? Frankly, I'm offended. Lala's correct. It's not excellence, but rather just settling. Choosing to be less than is not honorable.
Right. I agree.
Any
What do you
comments,
expect?
Bill
Have
Jones?
you guys not looked online? Do you not see what young Black women, who they are these days? This is who they
I
are.
know.
Sorry, guys. They're kind of
I know.
ratchet.
I
Sorry.
know.
That's who your sons will be dating. That's who your sons, those kind of women, they're going to bring home.
Oh, I'm so glad my son is gay.
I mean, no, but I mean, I understand why he is, because it's so interesting. Have you ever been on a farm or seen, like, when you're raising certain animals or when things happen, nature has its own way of determining and making different backup solutions. And, I think the spirit of women these days is questionable, I mean, to just pull your stuff out and whatever, it's not even that tantalizing anymore, to be honest with you. I mean, who hasn't done these things in the past? It's like the fact that they're still doing it. I mean, we did it on stage and stuff, not the nudity, but it was more of a way to, but even then, I don't know, maybe it was wrong for us to do it because it totally deranged everybody. They think that it's sexy and it's so obtuse and so strange. And the thing is, I don't remember any of these people's music. Janelle Monáe has a song that sounds like Prince. She said that she wrote it with him. Who knows? It's typical Sagittarius behavior, and Megan Thee Stallion is an Aquarian. Sorry, but it's really sad. Who are the representatives right now for young women who are really super talented? I don't really think of them that way. They pretend to play instruments and they don't. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Pecking here, pecking there, making an album. It's whatever.
Yeah. I think for me, there's a number of thoughts I have here. I think one thing I think is we need to have a show conversation, the state of Black culture. I did hosted that conversation with a group of men who are Black men, melanated men every month. And we had a conversation with the state of Black culture. I think it'd be nice one evening for the state of things for women.
What are we fighting for? It's like on one hand, we're trying so hard to get the Gap page, wage, whatever. And then you have this. So
right.
We're not in sync. And to be honest with you, that's why I said, I'm going to do me. I'm going to look out for me. I'm actually to the point where it's like, why should I anymore? Why? Mm-hmm. What is this about? Mm-hmm. Why don't I worry about do I need to really worry about all of this? Not really. Not really. Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
And then you have this insolence, this arrogance going on simultaneously, where you're going to shove your down my throat. Like, how curated were you and manipulative were you in your little like black and white outfits and like
that part
and all of that?
That was just a play.
Always wanted to be who you are right now, and all of it was a carefully orchestrated. Let me be the little good Black girl for a while. Let me be the little good Black girl, and that's just really me off. Like, wow. So now in your growth and evolution, you think that when you have power or influence, it gives you a right to be lewd and you've just, but the good little Black girls are the ones in the black and white dresses.
Right.
See, do you see what I'm saying? Like, she took it like, but the good ones, everybody was rooting for Janelle Monáe. They're like my parents who were servers in the whatever. Really? Mm-hmm. Like, seriously, when were your parents wearing black and white? Like, honestly, come on. Like, but it's manipulative. And you know, I also
the same thing as with the first story, y'all. You know, it's bait and switch. I got in on the Democratic Party, but now I'm Republican. It's the
same thing. And also, when you're a Black woman and you're sophisticated and you're successful, that's when you start throwing your pussy around and showing your, like, really, that's how this goes. So we've had women like Michelle Obama and our women in state offices, Kamala Harris. We have them in these positions who are vilified for being successful. But you got to take it a little step further. All Black singers actually now. It's like, can't you all do something different? Is this the only way you can actually appeal to your sub-Neanderthal group of people, the subhumans that seem to like you?
So I think there's also
a subhuman culture that continues to align with this. We have a couple of things running. And yet they want to be, you know, everybody wants to be upset.
I think there's also another layer of this.
Colored. Maybe it just sort of snapped them back.
I think there's also another layer of this, that at the end, people who can control decision making don't look like us.
No, they don't.
So they're laughing all the way. Again, as one of the commentators I follow periodically says, Black trauma is $1 billion industry.
It sure
$1 trillion
is.
industry.
I'm not buying their Black trauma. These are middle-class Black women. These are middle-class, brown-skinned, dark women, where we are all bending over backwards for the darker woman now. And this is what they do. I think it's funny. There you go. They all wanted to be acting like they're in the house, I suppose, right? Isn't that what we're going to go into? Because they were all so mad about light-skinned sisters and always like this. Now here they are. And they're acting like total trash. But it's okay. Them. Because first of all, do you remember any of their songs? But we're all
listen.
Listen, Dr. Five, I'm going to just say this. You can't even see, you know, we, as a light-skinned person, we are all taking the brunt of it for a while. Really.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the darker girls. Oh, okay. There you are. There's your icons. There they are.
Okay.
And so the brunt of it.
So as we finish off, some comments here. I think we're done. Okay. The platform is a little bit buggy tonight. Dr. Vibe. Okay. Oh, before this, Wig Maniac. Actually, I'll come back to her comment as we finish. This is why so many Black men are choosing not to date young Black women. I don't know about that. I think that's a whole other conversation. I think that I would say there's a lot of questionable Black men, a number of questionable Black men out there, but why they're not choosing to date Black women? I think the ones that of a certain mindset, yes. I wouldn't say that, I wouldn't put that, but again, I could say on the other end, there's a certain group of Black women who are that won't date certain Black men because of some of the portrayals they have in media. So I think it goes both ways in that way, in that sense. But to me, it again comes down to the money. Where's the money going? Who's controlling? And at the end of the day, Black culture it's so, as Jill would say, it's so convoluted right now. It's just, it's really not good. Justin, hey Justin, you come in late here. Let me just see what he says. Java has a song called Jim Crow that criticizes 2000s hip hop culture, saying, quote, "You can't call it what you want, but it's still you can call it what you want, but it's still a minstrel show." That is a very observant comment.
It is. And I love him, by the way.
That's a very observant comment. So as we finish at still, we're in a lot of.
Maniac said, "Don't forget the Kardashians started out."
Yes, I was just gonna.
But they're white women. That's a big difference. They're white. It doesn't matter what white people do because they're white. At the end of the day, they'll always be white.
Yeah. So a result of a writer's strike. So we'll see who becomes a big star. And again, reality shows, if people, whether you like them or don't like them, over the next month, you'll probably, whatever ones are going to get produced, that's all you're going to get. That's all you
I'm
get.
gonna tell you right now, a lot of the YouTube creators are kicking it up now because they feel like this is their opportunity to be seen. So you're gonna see a whole lot more on YouTube. And watch, I just know that Musk is going to end up bringing back Periscope, but you got to pay to play with that man. So he's giving out all this money and stuff, but you got to pay him in order for him to give you the money. So, it's pay to play.
Now,
just
the
like
problem is that that's when we lose the battle of our entertainment, because there will always be crabs in a barrel.
Yep.
So Black Beauty, this was from earlier on, a comment that she made. Jill and LaLa have said exactly what I'm feeling as well. I bet a lot of us feel the same way about the state of leadership in my country. It's a sad, in a word, sad/helpless.
Yeah.
I will just add, before we finish off here tonight, if there was a great time for Black creators to come together and do something, this is the best time right now. This would be
I don't think we can carry the weight of black or white at this point. I think it's every man for himself.
That's what it feels like.
Unfortunately.
I can't.
Unfortunately, I agree with you, Jill.
Yeah, it's like I feel like our culture is just a dead body. It just keeps cycling. Just when you make a couple of marginal gains, then we have some let me show my pasty. It's like, God, really?
Right. Take us back another 20 notches. Yeah.
Considering these are very influential women who could be moving forward and saying, hey, there's a strike going on. You know what? We're going to move our music and we're going to fight for everybody's rights, or we're going to try to help mobilize something. But in the meantime, look at my areola.
Yeah.
So lame. And these women are like obsessed with their vajayjays. It's like, oh, come girl, you're almost 40.
Yeah.
Get over it. It ain't that all that anymore. This is the craziest thing. We're living in a time where people aren't even having human contact the way they used to, and they won't. It's going to get slimmer and slimmer. So you can talk about that vajayjay. Ain't nobody going to be checking for it.
All right, and Black Beauty finishes up by saying, and sorry everyone for the delay, we're having the platforms a little bit buggy tonight, and the Kardashians went back to being, quote, conservative white women, unquote.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. They got what they wanted, and they used black
Tom
Brady.
When you start dating Tom Brady, you've basically decided that all the sisters are following with their white men, okay, we're done with that,
All right. So we are done. I want to say thank you to the ladies, as always, for taking the time to hang out with us tonight. And before we let everybody go, this platform is buggy tonight, very buggy. So bear with me, family. If you're watching this live or on the replay, it's just not behaving tonight. Okay, let's do first. Okay. Someone's going to get arrested, not on this program. Okay. LaLa.
You can find me at Realty Goddess on all platforms and now including Threads. Yeah, I bit that bullet, but I wish I wouldn't have it, honestly, but I'm on there too. So
okay. Yes, I've not done the Threads things yet because I haven't decided if I want to go to that way yet. Jill Jones, you must be on Threads.
I am. Yeah.
How are you enjoying it?
I like it. I'm kind of, a little tired of social media at the moment. So I don't know. I can't go Instagram live because they said that until the end of August, because I violated some of their community guidelines. It's so weird. I posted something with Roseanne Barr that she was dressed as a Nazi. I'm not advocating that, but I posted it. And so now I just don't really want to post all that much anymore.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I'm tired of being harassed. I'm tired of, Big Brother. Here's the thing, I'm older now. And, it's like August 8th, people are going to need to vote in Ohio. They're getting ready to come for people's birth control. I don't take birth control anymore. I don't need it. I don't really care anymore. If young people, young women and men don't feel like, I've said this before, if their future doesn't mean anything to them, I don't really give a shit anymore. I'm really just, I'm a little bit tired of caring. I got to care, focus about the people I love and the people in my immediate circle, because the world and what it wants to do, I'm never going to change it. And I just don't want to drain my brain trying.
Okay. Last words by Jill Jones. All right. So if you want to get a hold of me, if I can get myself on the screen.
They're not my last word.
I had to. All right. So if you want to get a hold of me, and again, sorry for the challenge we're having technical wise. This is not good. I have to see if we can clear this up. Yeah, this is really bad. It's really sticking. Hold on here. All right. Let's see if we can get some things right here. Okay, let's do this. You can get hold of me, website, thedrvibeshow.com, email dr.vibe@thedrvibeshow.com, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, The Dr. Vibe Show, Twitter @drvibeshow, Instagram @thedrvibeshow. I haven't done the threads thing yet. I don't know if I'll get there eventually, but I don't know when. Let's put it that way. So a few last things. Please, please, please. Actually, this is the wrong thing again. This thing is, I'm messing up tonight, family. Please, that's the wrong thing. Join the, you know what? Take a breath, Dr. Vibe. Like the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and Facebook and hit the notification button. Also, please like the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook and YouTube. As important, make sure, if you haven't, join the State of Things with Aisha, Jill, and LaLa Discord group. Email me, dr.vibe@thedrvibeshow.com. Thank you for everyone who's joined. Thank you for the activity. Keep it coming. Absolutely love it. Next up, as I bear with everything here, just got patience. Watch replays of State of Things with Aisha, Jill, and LaLa on the Dr. Vibe Show website, thedrvibeshow.com. You can watch replays also on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. All right, we have a few last comments, so I'm going to make sure we get them in. Don't want to forget the family. All right. Jen says, fabulous show as always. Wigmania, internet. Yeah, I know. Internet gremlins at it again. Wigmaniac says also, delay. Big referendum in August there. They're putting abortion on the ballot in November. And then Wigmaniac says, the problem with threads is if you don't want to be there, you have to delete your IG account too. Yes, but I think you can delete it on your tablet. I don't think you can. I think if you delete on your tablet, you can get away from doing that. I'm not sure, but I've heard that also. Lala could probably come back and tell us about that next week. I'm going to do some research on that. So before we leave, let's close it off. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions, then aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Remember to give yourselves grace and don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Have a fantastic week. Follow the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube. Follow the ladies on all their different social media platforms. Maybe I'll be on Friends by next week. And more importantly, hit the Discord group, please and thank you. That is where things are going down. God bless, peace and well, keep the faith, walk good. I don't know if I said this. I keep on forgetting if I say this. I'm going to say it again. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions, then aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Remember to give yourselves grace and don't just manage your time, manage your energy. I'm done. This platform is bugging my mind tonight. So we'll see you next week. Bye. Bye.